Hello there, I'm the Common Sense Guy. And before we go any further, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. I'd like to wish all of my subscribers and anybody watching this video, whether you like me or not, a happy new year, and I hope you have a good one, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Now, away from the housekeeping, we're now going to be doing a video on a think tank. I'm sure most people would be aware of what think tank is. If not, it's, shall we say, politically assigned with the Young Turks, and should we say has similar views but is aimed for what you would call teenagers. This is very, very interesting points, and I just wanted to get on with this. I have done their two videos, which is, one is 5 things to get rid of in 2018, which will be first, and 5 things that they want to increase in 2018, which will be second. I find this quite interesting for their different points and how different people react in different ways to the different points. So, without further ado, let's get into this video and see what's actually happening, shall we?
As we go into this new time of year, it's important that we leave some things back in 2017. The first thing that I'd like to...
Sorry, Jason. What the hell was that? What was that? Was that the fact that you were trying to tell something goodbye, and then you thought, no, I'm going to use my fingers to make a swear sign? Interesting use of choreography there. You obviously trained for that one. You rehearsed that, did you? Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's actually move on to the point, shall we?
See left in 2017 and disappear in 2018 is Mr. DJT himself.
Justin Timberlake's performing at the Super Bowl.
DJT.
Oh, Donald J. Trump.
Wow, look at Jason's face on that one. So smug. So smug. They're like, oh, Donald J. Trump. It's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to get rid of the president. But I'd like to hear your ideas on how we can. Because that would be interesting, wouldn't it? And what you're trying to allude to. I don't care how we get rid of him. I don't care how we get rid of him. We can impeach him. We can do this. We can do that. Or we could do, I don't care how we get rid of him. Yeah, it's kind of telling. And yes, I am going to play that bit just so people can actually understand why I'm actually saying it the way that I'm saying it, rather than waiting for it. I'd like to point out what actually is happening rather than waiting until afterwards on this point. So, let's carry on, shall we? But first, you do realise that over half of the Electoral College decided that they were going to vote for Donald J. Trump, hence why he's in office. Ooh. That means that you want to go against democracy. That's bad. That's real bad. Anyway, let's move on.
I'd like to see him disappear this year. That is, I don't care really how. If he's impeached, if he resigns. Yeah, I don't care if he gets alien abducted. Frankly, I think he just needs to go bye-bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Okay.
Oh, damn, that's, wow. I would like to see disappear in 2018 pay disparities.
Ooh.
I think I'll let Shoe on Head debunk this one, because I think it'd be a lot easier.
The wage gap is simply the average earnings of men and women working full-time. It does not count for different job positions, hours worked, or different jobs. It has nothing to do with the same job. It has nothing to do with discrimination.
I'd like to see creepy dudes disappear in 2018. Like, we are seeing one by one these powerful men fall, and I'd like that to continue. And we should continue to see these powerful men who are exerting their power in disgusting and despicable ways through sexual harassment and sexual abuse. I'd like to see them, by Felicia, as well.
Adios.
And make space for people who treat others with respect, whether that be women or men.
Finally, something we actually agree on. That's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy that we have found common ground after all this time. But no, on a serious note, yeah, I do agree with this point. This point should be increased a lot more. Especially the one at the end, to be publicised a hell of a lot more, what she just said. I mean, she does counteract it, so that's why we cut her off at that point. But that's exactly how I feel. that you should replace the men that are, or the people, because it's not just men, you should replace the people that are using their power and authority to force people to do stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and then replacing them with people that are actually good at their jobs, as well as what she just said, whether they're men or women. But that doesn't mean that I believe that we should be putting quotas in place for women to be taking over, just because they're women. If they're good enough for the job, then fair enough, but not just because they're women. Let's move on.
To disappear in 2018, I would love for, honestly, to be honest, Hannah, I am more hopeful. So I don't want to say I would like for things to disappear. I would like for things to come to fruition. So
we already did that video.
I know. That's why.
Well, this is the disappear video.
Okay,
so come up with something.
I would like for the bags under my eyes to disappear. I'm so sick of them. I drink water. I use gels. I use all the things, but I can't seem to get rid of them. If you have any ideas on how I can do that, let me know, guys.
Wow, the privilege that gentleman must have. That he can't think of anything else that he wants to disappear in 2018. In a disappearing video, as in what you would actually want to make disappear in 2018. Either he is so privileged that he does not see what's bad in the world that needs to be changed, to the point where he's saying, I want the bags under my eyes to disappear, or he's so shallow that he doesn't actually see what's going on in the world, and there is a lot that needs to be changed. For instance, why didn't he say something about world peace or something like that? That would have been interesting, wouldn't it? I don't know, let's get rid of war. That would have been interesting. But no, this gentleman decided that, I can't think of anything, so I'd like to get rid of the bags under my eyes. And this made the final edit of your video. And you wonder, out of the million subscribers that you have, that only 2.5 thousand people have watched this video. Probably 3,000 at most when I upload this video. And you wonder why your figures are so down. Let's just move on.
The last one I would like to see.
She rolled her eyes.
Is mine's a little superficial as well. Mine is Twitter.
Jason, the reason why she rolled her eyes at you is because there are so many things that you could have actually have said at that point, but yet you chose something so superficial, which is the reason why she used superficial in the next sentence, to say, I want to get rid of my bags under my eyes. Yeah. That's the point. And as for Hannah deciding that she's going to come out and say, oh yeah, I want Twitter to change, is again evident of how you see life. You're not bothered about all the wars and things like that are going on, or people being beheaded, or Muslim women and men being whipped for their sexuality. You're not thinking anything like that, or people that are able to walk free where so many people are not allowed to walk free without a chaperone and things like that. You haven't even mentioned anything to do with that. It's amazing, that, isn't it?
Like, Twitter is just sometimes a cesspool of hatred and white supremacy and sexism, and I don't like it, and I want to see it go. But until it goes, follow me at Hannah Cranston and follow Jason
at JJC Forever on the toxic cesspool.
But until it disappears. But for now, we'll just keep it around.
No, I think.
Oh dear. Oh dear. The hypocrisy in what you have just said has just hit you. That's the reason why I played that whole section, so everybody can hear that. As for the bit at the beginning, yes, there probably is some white supremacists online, but so many people that aren't verified are against... Wait, hang on. Wasn't there a particular thing that Sargon just recently did as white genocide? Wasn't that produced by a... academic? Wasn't he a school lecturer? No, he wasn't a school lecturer, was he? What was he? Oh yeah, that's right. He was a university lecturer. These are people that are teaching our people in the future, teaching our children, our future leaders, that it's okay to have white genocide. Yeah, but yeah, there's white supremacy everywhere. That needs to change. That definitely needs to change. Yeah. And then you get to the point at the end, as you said, about the hypocrisy. Yeah, I would like to see that go. But until then, follow me here, follow me there. It's just the whole idea of the bloody left, isn't it? Do as I say, not as I do. And that's all I really have to say about this. We're going to be moving on to the next video now, which is everything that they would like to see increase. So everything that they would like to see better in 2018. So let's hope they've got some good ideas, shall we?
2018 is upon us, and there's some things that I personally would really like to see happen this year, and I'm sure there's things that you'd like to see happen this year, and I'm sure that there are things that you all would like to see happen this year.
I would like to see most things that have ism in their name frame die. Socialism, communism, feminism, die. Just let us live in peace. We've had enough. The great meme war of 2017. It's over. It's over. Just let us live.
Today we're going to talk about some of the things that we'd most like to see next year. Now, for me personally, I would really like to see the continuation of the Me Too movement.
I've said this before, and I don't mind saying it again and again and again, and I don't even mind talking about my points of view on this. I have no problem with the actual Me Too itself, as in the actual bit that it's supposed to do, empower women, men, and everything else like that coming forward and putting their voices on what happened. The problem that I have with Me Too is that most men are not allowed to put anything on it, as in being sexually assaulted or anything else like that, or raped in general. Also as well, there is no way of actually guaranteeing that the people that are writing on this Me Too wall, so to speak, I'll use it as a wall, are actually telling the truth. Now, that's not to say that I disbelieve everybody that comes forward, but at the same time, people lie. People lie a lot, especially if they feel that they're going to be part of a group or part of a clique, or they want to have a sense of belonging. And yes, there's lots of psychology out there that says people will lie to fit into a group. There is a hell of a lot of it. But at the same time, I have no problem with the Me Too idea, so to speak. As I said, it is literally the point of, I don't know whether or not you're lying. I don't want to see all hospital records or police records or anything else like that. I don't really need to. It's just a simple fact that you're putting your story out there. Yes, fair enough, and I applaud you for it. But surely your story would be better served going back to the police again and pushing the story through that way to make sure that they get arrested for it. Not trying to play to internet people, trying to not necessarily fabricate, but produce a story where somebody else might come forward in something else that's happening. If you want to do that, why don't you talk to people in general or join a particular movement? If you feel that strongly about trying to help people by telling your story, why not actually physically help people by going down to rape trauma victims and going down to places that actually deal with the actual people? Why put it on the internet? It's just an interesting fad that I see. I have no problem with it in general. It's just, if you want to actually make a difference, physically do something.
Would you like to see in 2018?
In addition to the Me Too movement and a lot of shifts politically, I'm going to shift to more spiritual things. I would love to see more peace with people, more success for my loved ones. In addition to everyone else.
Interesting point, Jason. So you want people to have a sound better of mind. Well, why don't you actually talk to people instead of actually just calling them Nazis? That would be one aspect that you could actually do quite easily.
What you were saying, I would like to see more empathy next year.
Empathy's hard.
I know. I want to see more of it. I just want people to be more empathic towards each other. And
again, stop calling people Nazis and actually engage in conversations with them. You have to give empathy for people to give you empathy. It's the way it works, same as respect, honey.
Love to see better coffee choices at 7-Eleven.
Again, it must prove the point of privilege, as I said earlier on from the previous video that we've done today. It points to the fact that you would actually choose coffee over all the wars, all the people dying, everything that's happening in the Middle East, everything that's happening in India and Pakistan, all of the floods, all of the major catastrophes that are happening in the world. And the biggest thing that you want to see in 2018, more coffee. Wider range of coffee. And you wonder why people say that your ideologies need to die. You do not care about anybody apart from yourself. If you actually cared about people and actually wanted to change things, you'd be saying you wanted to change these things. And don't come back at me and saying, well, that's obvious. So if it's obvious, why didn't you say it in your video?
All right, and the last one for me is I would like to see more body positivity. I think we're making waves.
I'm so shallow. I said coffee.
That's okay. I think we're making waves with body positivity, but I'd like to see more of it, right? And I'd like to see more of it. And
First of all, yes, Jason, you are shallow. Yes, you talk about coffee, and then somebody else is talking about body positivity. Now, even though I don't 100% agree with body positivity, I would still stand to the fact of at least she's actually talking about an issue that kind of matters, where your coffee is just a personal choice, as in, oh my god, what first world problems do you have? But let's go on to the body positivity, shall we? The way that she explains it is that she wants more people to be happy either in makeup or without makeup and things like that. I'm for that. If people want to be who they are, then that's up to them. If they want to dress the way they want to dress, that's fine. I have no problems with that. Just remember that the psychology actually does affect what you wear onto how people perceive you. If you're going to talk about body positivity of people that should be happy because they're big and large, then I'm going to completely and utterly disagree with you on that factor. Simply because people that are fat, and let's be honest, they are fat, and that includes me in this point, as I've said many, many a time. People need to lose weight. People are not healthy at particular weights. And that's just the way that science works. There is no amount of body positivity that is going to stop you from having a heart attack if you eat 16 burgers every freaking day. Do you see my point? There is no point in trying to say, yes, that person is absolutely healthy when there are not. It's just not the correct thing to do. If you want to help that person, tell that person that she needs to lose weight. Tell that person he needs to go swimming. Do something about it, because otherwise they're going to die early. And where people will come back and say, oh yeah, but at least they died happy, I'm pretty sure that most people would say, I'd rather have lived longer than had died eating too much food. Because remember, this isn't a case of some people deciding that they're going to take up smoking, or people deciding that they're going to take up a recreational drug or anything else like that. This is people deciding that they're eating way too little and then eating more and more and more, to the point where they're having double to triple to quadruple sizes of proportions that people would generally eat. But yet that's okay, that's acceptable. Now, I'm not trying to conflate the issue of trying to say, well, druggies and alcoholics and people like that are better off in society because they're doing something that they happy with. I'm trying to say, well, no, they have a dependency. It's a case of they're looking for something that is foreign to them and putting it in them to make themselves escape. You are eating not necessarily just because you are hungry. Yes, I understand there's a lot of psychological differences that you could have that can give you lots of different points and flaws from eating. I do know that. And this is a generalization. This is not going into specifics. But if you have somebody that's eating 4 times the meat and proportions that some other guy sitting next to him is, and that guy says to you, you might want to cut down your portion sizes, just to make sure that you live a bit longer. Should the person who said that to the fat guy be reprimanded? Or should it be the fact that everybody is paying higher insurances, especially in America, and obviously in the UK would be taxes, to be able to help that person get through the NHS and things like that, or the health care? Now, those are different arguments to have. The argument that I'm trying to portray at this moment in time is the person who's telling the other person that maybe you should cut down on your portions. Is that person not okay to voice an opinion? And if not, then who gave you the right to tell that person that they can't voice their opinion that way? Because you're trying to limit speech just because you don't want to hurt people's feelings? And I think that's the way that these whole videos have gone. It's more of a feelings-based effort that you've come up with. I mean, you've got Jason sitting next to you, and I think that you probably need to get rid of him. Not because he's done anything wrong, per se. It's the case that you've asked him to come up with good and bad things, and one of his bad things was, I need to get rid of the bags under my eyes, and one of the good things was, I want better coffee. Though these are the things that matter to you the most, not the fact that people are dying and starving in Africa and trying to flee, and the immigrations that's happening at this moment in time, or even if you want to, the Islamophobia that's happening in the West. I'll give you that premise just so you can have that argument, but yet you still didn't. those are the things that matter to you the most. And that's the reasons why you can't argue with certain people, because they generally do not give a rat's ass about the subjects that they're talking about, because they would be more interested in coffee and how they look. And yes, Jason, that's what I get from this point. Maybe you should have edited the video to make it sound a bit better for you. Well, I think that's come to the end of the video for me. So, I'm not going to carry on giving what my diagnosis is and everything else like that. I am just going to say, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video and to this channel. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I will see you again very, very soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye for now.